Two Webzen titles bite the dust. MMOs and MOBAs account for 60% of PC gaming revenue. All that and more. I'm Zach Sharps, and this is Free to Play Weekly. First up in the news this week, Crush Online, the upcoming free-to-play PvP MMO/MOBA combat game, has officially entered open beta. Yep, Games in Flames has made the game available for all players in English, German, Polish, and Turkish languages. During the beta period, the devs aim to spend time balancing both player and item progression, as well as improve localization. As for the game itself, it seems to be taking influence from PvP-oriented MMOs, but the combat you'll mainly take part in is MOBA-oriented. Seems like an interesting experience overall despite looking at the gameplay, and if you wish to try it out, the game is free to download on their official website. As we all know, no MMO is complete without a plethora of PvE content, and this week, My.com has decided to outline Revelation Online's PvE experience. The MMO offers two kinds of dungeons, solo and 5-man, with the latter having up to 5 difficulty levels, each offering different rewards. A step up from that is 10-man raids, complete with a hardcore mode. Then beyond that, there are 20-man ultimate versions of the same raids. To top all this off, players can also participate in guild-sized battles to earn the right to take on one of the 6 massive world bosses roaming the landscape. It's good to see Revelation trying to touch on all types of PvE content, and with the game now confirmed free to play, are you guys looking forward to it? I definitely am. Leave me a comment down below if you are. Two Webzen titles saw their funerals planned this week. First, ASTA's time in the West is coming to an end on October 4th. Webzen apologized to current players and attributed this decision to the recent player numbers being insufficient to warrant continuing the service. For those who spent money recently in the game, WCoin refunds will be available for purchases made within the last month. Secondly, ELOA will also be closing in October due to the same reasons. In regards to ELOA, refunds for the same period will be available for players, and Webzen is also giving massive buffs for players to get through as much of each game as possible before they eventually shut down. Sad news for players of each of those titles, but I am glad that Webzen is trying to give players an opportunity to get a fair bit of fun out of each title before they both eventually shut down. After the last story, you may have already been typing free to play is dead. However, Superdata showed off some impressive numbers this week for free to play as a whole. Online gaming is apparently a big deal, especially since it's put the crown on the PC platform's head. MMOs and MOBAs account for 60% of this PC gaming revenue, and get this, most of it's from free to play games. Worldwide, free to play titles account for $17.1 billion, while pay to play titles only bring in $2.7 billion, most of which of course comes from Asia. Second is Europe, third is North America, fourth is Latin America, and the rest is the rest of the world. Another interesting tidbit here from this report is only 30% of players report playing just one MMO, with 7% getting into 7 or more MMOs. So basically, free to play is doing just fine, just it's now harder to get a sizable piece of the pie rather than before when the market blew up. It's time for the question of the week. Last week on the show, I asked whether or not more MMO releases is good or bad. A user by the name of Alista stated the following: quality over quantity as always. I'd rather wait some months for a game that will actually get me hooked instead of wasting my time on copy-paste titles. So yeah, I do prefer less releases, but better quality. Thanks for your guys' responses, and as always, if you wish for your comment to be possibly featured in next week's show, be sure to leave a comment down below. This week's question is, how many free-to-play titles do you spend at least a couple hours with each week? Right now, I've been spending most of my time in Elder Scrolls Legends and Paragon. Curious what you guys have been playing. Last up in the news this week, for those of you console MMO players out there, Perfect World's free-to-play Star Trek Online has officially launched on both PS4 and Xbox One. With over 6 years of content available at launch, including tons of character and ship customization, over 125 story-based episodes, voice work from more than 15 actors from every Star Trek era, and lots of endgame content, there is a lot to do within Star Trek Online. Since it will likely hold you for a while. Perfect World is offering a 33% discount on lifetime subscriptions. If you're a huge fan of the game, that might be a good enough deal for you to take the plunge. Speaking of a good deal, be sure to check out our giveaways page. Yes, as always, head on over to mmobomb.com, check out that giveaways page, bookmark it, and press F5 on it every single day to ensure you never miss one. As for myself, being able to be stalked on Twitter by following the link down below in the description, my name is Zach Sharps, and I'll catch you guys next time.